Hey everyone, hopefully you're having a good day. My name's Andy. My channel's Finding Value. Today we're going to go over oil, natural gas, and solar for our daily technical analysis update. This is some of my favorite sectors. I have a lot of money deployed in, I'll say, oil and natural gas. So I always like looking at it. So when I look at it, might as well talk about it. Again, this is just my financial opinion. Please don't use it as advice. Seek a financial advisor if you guys have a lot of questions, or leave it in the comment section if you guys have some questions. And let's dig in here and see what we got for the sector. And I'll be honest, quite surprised at the performance of oil today. Whenever you see these big sell-off days, usually you come up, you contract like it was, and then you kind of have another down day. But guess what happened today? It drove it right higher, 2.71%, almost a 3% up day, heading back at this resistance line. Surprising that oil was this strong today. Caught me by surprise, and that's why I don't buy or sell out of any of these companies. When the values are good, I hold on. Natural gas, on the other hand, sold off today. We're right at that support line, coming on up, and we could break to the downside. That's a lot of selling momentum today of an 8.26% down day. So let's look at some of the companies. SM Energy, we're right at that, pushing up against that resistance line. It's looking good, but I mean, we're right up on it. And so is Centennial Resource Development. We break to the upside, I think we could see a good run. We're just right up, smacked up against it. Callon Petroleum breaking out of its cup and handle pattern. We're probably going to see a run in that. So if this is a leader, maybe the others will follow. Sandridge also looking like it's trying to put in new 52-week highs, and it looked like it closed at a 52-week high today. Very strong for Sandridge. In Comstock, even though natural gas got hit, Comstock was up today. So I'm holding on to my shares that I own. I think it looks good. Just going to hold on. Recaf finding a little bit of resistance coming through here. Smacked its head on it yesterday and pulled back a little bit. Maybe it'll fill this gap underneath it before moving on up. But it looks okay. Still in a downtrend. We got to break this downtrend. Crew Energy looking good. We have a nice little hammer pattern. Throwing a couple of hammer patterns on the right-hand side. We'll call it MC Hammer. Join the crew, MC Hammer. We got 10 here. We broke this resistance line. Now it becomes a support line. Everything looks okay. We're still above it. I still think we can move higher. And that goes for basically the rest of this sector. Beam's doing the same thing. Sunworks hasn't broken out of its downtrend yet. I didn't draw it in, but the downtrend's going right through it, cutting through it. We haven't broken it yet. Sol has support underneath this, so it looks okay. And SunPower has support right underneath that at just over about 30 bucks. So that one looks good to move on higher. I don't see the sellers womping this over here. So the buyers are still in control. Everything looks good to move on higher in all of these companies that I'm seeing. Fuel cell, yeah, we could have a little down day tomorrow maybe, but everything looks good. Big buying pressure, small selling pressure as we move up. Exactly what you want to see with the buyers in control. And Plug is the same way. We've got support at 35 bucks underneath it. Coming on up, and we're just moving sideways, consolidating, digesting these big gains before moving, I think, higher. So that's what I see in the sector for oil, natural gas, and solar. I think this sector looks pretty good. I was surprised at oil breaking to the upside. Very strong day today. I was not expecting that. But you know what? That's why I don't sell. If things look good and the valuations are good, I hold on and ride this stuff higher. So overall, natural gas coming under pressure. Oil looking good. And most of the solar companies looking good. The oil and natural gas companies, they're right at resistance level. They're trying to break through it. They're tapping, hitting it. And I think eventually we'll break through it. Looking out into the future, looking at the oil demand, I think we're gonna see tighter markets next year. So I'm not at all worried about this year. I'm looking towards next year, and I'm seeing tighter markets. There's been some news released from Saudi Arabia. They see the market tightening quite substantially. They're talking about potential market tightness that we haven't seen possibly ever. So to me, that screams, hold on to your shares. Let's just ride this thing out. That's what I'm going to do. I've got my positions in a lot of these companies. I'm in the smaller junior oil and gas sector companies that you've seen here. These are some of my favorites. I've got other ones as well. I kind of just go over these to get a general overall picture. If I was in some of these large companies like ExxonMobil and Chevron and some of these other ones, up to you on what you want to do, but I would probably diversify into some of these smaller ones if you don't have them and you want more leverage. If you don't want the leverage, stick with the bigger ones. Get the dividends, get paid. These smaller ones provide quite a bit of leverage to the price move. Would I buy some of these right now, right here? If we break that resistance line, maybe I would. I'm in them right now and I'm just kind of holding on. So the solar ones I think are down quite a bit. If you guys like solar, it's up to you. If you don't like it, that's fine. I wouldn't buy it then. But I think money, they think, the rulers, so to speak, the powers that be, they think they're going to try to solve it with EVs and renewables. So that's why I've got some money in here. Doesn't necessarily mean I completely believe in the companies themselves. They are being subsidized at the moment, and usually that means that they aren't viable yet if they're being subsidized. So, but if you're going to get trillions of dollars thrown in that sector, I'm going to have a little bit of money in it. If you guys like this analysis, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And thank you for listening. This is Finding Value.